it, and now we're going to be reviewing something a little bit more custom, and this is not available on 4wheeldrive.com. Actually, it's only available on one site to my knowledge. We're going to be reviewing the Swag Off-Road drop-down tailgate conversion for YJs, TJs, and JKs. Yes, you hear me right, swagoffroad.com. I know the whole swag and YOLO thing going on right now, so that's just kind of funny, but it's still a really good tailgate conversion, so I don't care what their name is. Alright. Man, I don't know the price of it. I want to say it was around $200, but this is one epic tailgate conversion, especially if you want to have the old CJ kind of look where you can drop down your tailgate. I mean, that's third row seating right there. That is a workbench. That is everything under the sun that you can think of. Now, this was a bit of a pain to install. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't, it was difficult, but there was certain aspects of this where it really got hard. It took 3 people to install this. Myself and 2 of my buddies, one that was Jeep inclined and mechanically inclined, the other one just mainly just for lifting up and prying things. So, I'm going to try to cover as much as I can in the shortest period of time so we don't run this video long, because this is going to be a big install. Alright, you can see we already had problems right off the bat that these hinges right here, they did not want to come off. Actually, I had the hinge and I'll show you what I had to do. That hinge did not want to come off, that bolt was seized in there. And what I ended up having to do is take a grinder and grind off the entire head of the bolt until the whole thing could just slide out. But luckily, it was just the head that was seized. It seems like paint got in after they did it. Went from the factory and got painted. Paint seized up that bolt. Now it's the only thing that wasn't able to break it free. So we were able to unscrew the stud of the bolt that was left. So caught that lucky. Now installing these plates, it uses a lot of the existing bolt holes that are here. And it does come with, like I said, the secondary latch. For stability, so you're not relying on the old latch. And one good thing about this is, and they stated in their official YouTube video, is it does use the existing latch. What they didn't state was you got to really tweak it to make it work right, or work slightly right, because the tailgate's meant to open sideways, not really down. So you really got to adjust it and mess with it, and that's where it's going to soak up a lot of your time. Now, installing this bottom plate here, which was one of the big things after you took off the hinges, was it used some of the existing bolt holes, which I really can't remember which one's which anymore, but you did have to drill, I want to say, a couple new ones and tap them. Simple, and as long as you got confidence in a center punch, you can go for it. Now, one big thing, which was a pain to do, and this was one of the second hardest things of this install, was installing the bottom part of these hinges. The bottom part of these hinges go into this hollow point underneath the tailgate. Now, what you got to do, as you can see the wire that's existing from it, is they give you these back plates, these backing plates, which you put behind it, and it already has nuts and everything welded to it, where you just bolt it through. So you just got to drill it and then bolt it to the back plate so it clamps it into place. And they give you this back plate, and they give you a wire. They weld a wire to it. I mean, this is thought out, so you can kind of tease it back there and put the bolt in. That's all simple and all, but you can't just hold it there with the wire. You gotta get your finger up in there too. And if you do not have a body lift, which again, they stated that in their video on YouTube, you don't have a body lift like I do, like I don't have one, you have to unbolt a lot of your body mounts, pretty much almost all of them except for the front. Get a jack under this quarter panel, jack that up, and I still had to have a buddy get in there with a crowbar wrapped in cloth and pry it up more for us to get our hands up in there, and just barely enough to hold that in place to get one of the bolts in. So once you get one in, you're golden. Because, then it'll hold itself in place. You just kind of have to line up the other hole, bolt the next one in, and boom, you just got a hinge in. And that was actually a big accomplishment, because those took about an hour apiece. Well, no, an hour both. One took 30 minutes, one took another 30 minutes to do. Hopefully you guys have more luck and you guys decide to do this. So that was the hard part. Another part that you got to make sure you calibrate is you got to make sure that the tailgate is level as possible. So you can, I want to say there's adjustment, you can kind of tweak this up and down a little bit through these bolts right here. But once you get here's one critical thing. Once you get your adjustments and everything is together, do not adjust anything. You're going to have everything calibrated to exactly how it is. If you adjust one thing, you're going to screw up the whole thing. Alright, now we're going to throw this tailgate down and really show you what it's capable of. This tailgate can hold a lot of weight, and again, they stated this all in their official video. I suggest you look it up before you look at my review, or I should say that in the beginning. But it can hold up to, I want to say, 300 pounds. So it can hold 2 light people or 1 heavy person. Now, like I said, you got these cables right here, which you do have to drill. You do have to, drill in, and these are self-tapper bolts. You got to drill those in, and you'll mount those in yourself. But once you do that, I mean, that's the home finish compared to the rest of the project. That's simple. Another one of the big hardest things was, you've seen how this opened. It actually opened pretty simply, but if I open this very gently, watch what happens. It kind of catches on the secondary latch a little bit. We could not get it calibrated any better than this. One little pull will break it free. And closing it, if you try to close it gently, again, it does not want to go to the primary latch. You got to give it a little bit of force. Again, that's because this tailgate is meant to open sideways, not down. But the way you adjust this is, this part in here is adjustable. You can move this up and down. And actually, we have to put washers on this side of the entire bracket to kind of raise it up a little bit to get it to be the right height. Now, after tiny little tweaks here and there, trying to find the perfect adjustment, because if you don't get that perfect adjustment, it gets stuck on there, and you really got to just almost pry the thing off, which you really don't want to do that. You just want to be able to pop your tailgate down like a truck. So what my friend found out was easy, was when you do the adjustment for this, tighten it down just a little bit, enough to keep it in its place, that's it. And then just cycle the tailgate about 5 to 10 times, just keep doing that. What will happen, it will eventually kind of find its little sweet spot where the least resistance is, because you didn't tighten it down too much, so it's just kind of find its little sweet spot, and that's where you're going to keep it at. And once you do that, keep it real still and tighten that thing down, and then you can get it to open really flawlessly. And if you notice, before I'll point out some flaws, this one's tight, this one's loose. That was not, I don't want to, not an error on my part, I don't think. These were both tight when we did the calibration, or the adjustments and everything. Well, I freaked out but a little bit later, I don't know if the cable stretched a little bit or whatever happened. I freaked out and I went back to do all my adjustments, and then don't do that, because then the latch wouldn't work right and all this other crap. So that was a big no-no. This was tight when we did put it on there. What I think it is the weight of this latch right here is primarily there, because when you sit on it, the tension on them is equal. I mean, if I push it on the same amount of force, it lifts it equally. So I just want to say it's holding down more on this side because of the heavier latch. So if you guys have that problem, let me know. I hope I'm not the only one. Maybe I did screw it up. Who knows? So, like I said, this is a very, very good upgrade to any Jeep that you have. Getting things in and out, of course, now you're going to have to lean over your tailgate. And this is, this can kind of hurt a little bit. But, I mean, like I said, third row seating, this is a workbench. I mean, you can get your toolbox out and just, get it down there and do whatever you need to do. It is just really, really convenient. Or if you go out shooting, you can just sit on the tailgate and just start taking your shots. To me, this is a critical upgrade that almost every Jeep guy should have, unless you're really into the sideways opening tailgates. I thought it was pointless having a tire cover that opens up sideways and the tailgate follows it. So, if you guys have any questions about this, please let me know, because this was a little bit of an interesting install. Again, it wasn't hard. Well, certain parts were hard. Putting the hinges in, getting this latch to work right, those were all difficult. Getting that stupid bracket off, that was difficult. But other than that, I mean, we were up to like 3 doing this, but it was worth it. It's a very, very good upgrade to any Jeep that you have. So all in all, great for me. It's on swagoffroad.com. They do have an official YouTube video, so go check that out if you want to kind of see their little demonstration of it. Any questions? Leave them in the comment section. Any suggestions? I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. So keep it a Jeep.